Everyone, we are back. Welcome back to Nate vs. Hot Takes Pod. As you can see, no camera today. Camera is kind of super dead, but I really wanted to get this episode out. I know I don't really do things in a timely manner on this show, but really wanted to get this episode out before the actual NBA season started. So as you can see, that's what we're doing today. We are doing NBA teams in tiers that I have decided. They're kind of completely arbitrary, but I think they're funny. Before we get started, thank you for being here. And that's pretty much it. I hope you're having a wonderful day right now, and I hope I can make it a little bit better. Let's go to our first team. Got the Atlanta Hawks. Always been a big Trae Young guy. I like Trae Young a lot, but I don't really see a lot coming out of this team. Definitely no shot they come in any of these first two tiers. There's a world where we make the play-in, or where they make the play-in, excuse me. Not a Hawks fan. No, you. But I think we'll put them in play-in for now. And obviously, if there's too many teams in there, we'll redistribute. But I think it's going to be between one of these two tiers. There's some talent there. You got Trae Young. You got Dyson Daniels as an absolute lockdown defender. But it really just depends on how Trae interacts with the rest of that team. So I'm going to put him here. I think they might get bumped down, but we're going to go from there. And next we have the Charlotte Hornets. Oh man, this one hurts. LaMelo is so entertaining and so talented, and the Hornets have literally the best announcer in all of pro sports. I forget what his name is, but he is electric. Look up Hornets announcer. Great guy. But even though he is thrilling, the team is not always thrilling to watch. They can be pretty bad at times. And as much as I want to say I think they're going to get better this year, I don't think it'll happen. I think that the probability of them even making the play-in is very low. VJ Edgecombe, I think they drafted, or someone like that this year. No, they didn't draft VJ Edgecombe. Let's see. I think the VJ Edgecombe went to the 76ers. Charlotte Hornets first round pick 25. Oh, it was Con Kneppel. Yeah, I was right. Con Kneppel. Never mind. Another guard for the Hornets. He's solid, but once again, it's like you're relying on a rookie to do so much. So I think that they're still going to be watching college basketball this year. They're still going to be very much anticipating what everyone in college is doing, looking for another prospect to keep building up that team. And obviously, this all depends on LaMelo as well. Can he stay healthy? Can he produce at a productive rate? And that's really the big question here. But I think that just for this year, it's probably not going to happen as much as I would love to say they should be able to be good. Probably still be a very entertaining team, but maybe not a very good team. We got the Bulls now. I don't really think there's a lot going on there in Chicago. I don't really have a lot else to say. The Bulls do not really, I think, scare many people. I miss the days of like when they had Zach LaVine. They were high flying. They were actually kind of decent. And before that, you had Derrick Rose. But I think Chicago is kind of just like, what are we doing right now? So not great for the Bulls. So I think we're also going to put them maybe in but I think we'll probably put them here in watching college basketball, definitely above the Hornets. There's just not a lot there. I don't think that there's a lot of hope for this season. Obviously, there probably is upside with some of their young guys, but just not a lot, and they're not going to be as fun to watch as the Hornets. So the Hornets might go in front there just because I think they're an entertaining team. And now we've got the Detroit Pistons. First of all, please rebrand. This thing is so ugly. So ugly. Everyone's got a circle logo. We've got 1, 2, 3. This one's cool, though. That one can stay. 4, 5, 6, 7. That doesn't really count. 8, 9, 9/10 circle logos in the NBA. There's no originality in this league. My goodness. We need to get some rebrands going on here. The Pacers should go back to like the old. They had some racing stripe, like racing city jerseys that used to be super fire. Get out of my way, ad. They should just make those their jerseys all the time. They're fire. The Nets, that's boring. That's not good. Now I'm just going to judging logos. The Magic just rebranded, so this is out of date. The Magic, for anyone who doesn't know, Orlando Magic rebrand. Their rebrand is actually really fire. I really like this rebrand. This is really cool. This jersey, don't know how I feel about it, but this is the home and the away, or away and home. Yeah, right here. I think it's pretty dang cool. I think it's really well done, and this is the new main logo, another circle logo. But I think honestly, you could have just gotten rid of the Orlando Magic around here and just kept the sparkles and the basketball. But really cool rebrand. Really irrelevant side tangent. We're not even on the Magic yet. We're at the Pistons. What do we got there? Cade Cunningham. That's my guy, Cade. Probably another play-in team. Probably a better play-in team than the Hawks. Definitely, the Hawks are a fringe play-in team. I don't think the Pistons will be in the East. No, I don't think they're above a 6 seed. Maybe a 5 seed, but I don't think they're above a 6 seed. Yeah, not really a lot else to say. I really like Cade Cunningham. He's a really very talented young guy, and I think they have a lot of young players there that are very exciting. More exciting than the young players from down here in the college basketball tier. A lot of their young players haven't even graduated yet. They're still looking at them, but I think that. Yeah, there's not really a lot else to say. I think they're just a solid team. Not really a lot that they're gonna do in terms of the playoffs. Maybe a round one win. Maybe if you get lucky with it. If they get fun with it. And obviously a great year last year, but I don't really see them going that much farther. Obviously, can prove me wrong. I am not really a Pistons fan, so maybe they have an ace up their sleeve. Hopefully for them, and hopefully the ace up their sleeve is a rebrand, because Lord knows they need it. Now the Pacers, oh man, such a great team, but I think Halliburton's hurt. Tyrese Halliburton. I'm looking a lot of stuff up. Tyrese Halliburton injury. How long is he out? Yeah, he's not playing this season. That is obviously just bad. We're putting him in A tier. I don't really see a world at all where they make play in, I don't think. Maybe as a 10 seed. But you're losing your star player. You don't have literally the best player on your roster by a lot. I mean, they have Pascal Siakam, obviously very talented, but the combination between Siakam and Halliburton was what really started to make that team special. They had, Benedict Mathurin. I just don't think those other guys are going to be able to carry the team as well as Halliburton did. That's not to say that those other guys are bad. I just think that Halliburton, obviously the backbone of that team, he was going crazy in the playoffs before he literally died on the court and tore his Achilles. But I think there's not really a lot of mobility for them when you have your best player out, and that's kind of similar to Boston. We'll see but Jason Tatum in a little bit, but it's just not. There's not a lot of hope, really, in the saddest way possible. And now the Nets, once again, another bad team. Once again, really not a lot else to say. Oh, man. I think you have, Cam Thomas? I mean, maybe a couple of rookies. It's just really not... You don't have a star. You don't have that one guy. You don't have a Tyrese Halliburton that got injured. You don't even have a guy that would get injured that you're like, except for maybe, I guess, Cam Thomas or something. But there's just not a lot there. They need to keep building this young core that they have going on. And then maybe in the future they can get it going and rebrand the New Jersey Nets back again. The New Jersey Nets uniforms were pretty cool back in the 2000s with Jason Kidd. Bring that back. Bring some flash and some fire back to that team. Now we go to the Magic. Magic are a good basketball team. That was a weird noise. One of these two tiers. I think we'll go play in for now. It's like we said, going to depend on how the other teams I think are going to stack up, because you haven't done really any of the really good teams yet. But the Magic are good. Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, other guys, they're solid. Once again, another young team that's just very talented, kind of like the Pistons a little bit. So I think that they're probably a little bit better than the Pistons, maybe about the same. But I also really like their rebrand. So I'm going to put them above the Pistons for now. And now Toronto. Oh, man. Not a lot for Toronto. I guess they traded for Brandon Ingram during the season last year from the Pelicans. Brandon Ingram is an incredible talent. But obviously injury concerns with a guy like Brandon Ingram. So long, so lanky, will have his bones shatter in half sometimes. But he's such an extreme scoring threat, and I'd be very interested to see how they kind of mold their offense more around him maybe this season, as obviously he came in mid-season last year, maybe weren't able to get all the schemes in that they really wanted to. But obviously still not a lot going there. I think they're probably going to be here in A tier. I don't think they're bad enough to say watching college basketball, especially because they have like a star player. That's the issue with some of these teams. LaMelo is down here because of injury concerns and because the rest of the roster is just not that good. But they have kind of a star. They have a couple of guys, Scotty Barnes type. But I still don't see really them doing anything more than maybe like a 10 seed. I don't think that there's a lot going there. Maybe they make plays. Maybe they really shoot up this year, and that's true for all these teams. This is not a death sentence, but as we're looking at them right now, I think that's the view I have on the Raptors. Washington, the Wizards. Once again, go back to your old jerseys. Back when like John Wall got drafted back in the dark ages, they had these like those blue jerseys with like a different logo, and it wasn't like this weird circle. It's weird. My audio low-key just died. My microphone became unplugged. We're back, I think. Yes. Okay, we are back. As I was saying, the darn circle logos. I hate them so much, or maybe not so much. And this is also outdated. The Clippers also got new uniforms last year, and their new stuff is also pretty good for anyone. Oh, literally just hit my microphone trying to reach for my mouse. For anyone who hasn't seen them yet, Clippers new unis, not units, unis, images. These are from last year. I think they're relatively cool. A little bit basic, but they're relatively cool. And that was the new logo right there. I think they had one that just said like Clips or something like that. Or yeah, it's this font right there. But yeah, so that's inaccurate. I guess that's still kind of a circle logo, the one with the ship. Why do you have to make it into a circle? Just do the cool ship. The ship's not that bad. Second rant about circle logos in this video. But to the Wizards. Who's on the Wizards? My goodness. Not a lot there. Wizards roster. Let's see. Wizards roster. Oh, yeah. They got CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton. Yeah, this team's old. This team is not very good. You've got a core of CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton. Oh, man. That's really not where you want to be. I love CJ McCollum as personally a Pelicans fan. He was great for us. But he's getting up there in the age. I think you're watching college basketball as well, by the way. Your two best players, or two of your best three players, are over the age of 30, possibly over the age of 35. Maybe. They're old heads. And there's just not that much of a ceiling for them, in my opinion. I'm scrolling all the way over the place. This is going to be fun to mess with later in terms of editing. But they're just not a lot of ceiling there. There's not as much like upside. When you got some of these teams like the Hornets, you got LaMelo who still can maybe develop some. Toronto has guys that maybe could develop even in other places. Like these teams are so good, and they still have young guys their ceilings have not been hit yet. I think that's the issue with Washington. You've brought in guys who are good, but they're only going to raise your floor and your ceiling a little bit. I mean, you maybe won't be the worst team in the league. You're not going to be that bad, but it's not going to bring you into a playoff spot. They might be better than the Hornets. I still am just going to put the Hornets up there because I think the Hornets are really fun to watch, and I really like their announcer, so I'm going to stay biased toward that. But the Wizards, there's not a lot there. I've said that with a couple of these bottom feeder teams already. There's just not as much to be excited for, especially for the Wizards. I mean, you don't have as many young guys. You've committed to the old guys. You got rid of Jordan Poole, who is now a Pelican. And you don't. What's your identity? What are you doing in Washington? What are we doing? So I think that's the issue. And now. Oh, the Bucks. The Bucks just signed Giannis's other brother. They have Alex, Giannis, and Thanasis there. One of them will play. But now that you've got the three Antetokounmpo brothers, and they are threatening, to say the least. Got rid of Dame. over the offseason who went back to Portland, obviously. I think for now we're going to put him in almost him because I see him as probably like a 5 or a 4 maybe because Giannis is just so good. And he can probably just carry that team to the playoffs. I don't see a reason why he wouldn't be able to unless he gets injured, but I don't really see that happening either. And also, Bucks, you have a cool logo. Thank you very much. Thank you for not having, like, this is this deer. It's geometric and stuff. Like, it's cool. Side note. But yeah, you have Giannis. I mean, if you have a player like Giannis, you're never out of the discussion, in my opinion. And you got rid of Dame. The Dame Giannis pairing was, inconsistent. But I think that's really all you need. You have Giannis, you're going to make the playoffs. You're going to probably not be in the play-in. You're probably a 5 seed. Maybe not competing for a championship, especially because you just lost your other star, or you don't have another star right now. But definitely not going to be a throwaway season for the Bucks. And if Giannis goes ham, I mean, there's always a possibility that he can just single-handedly drag this team to the finals. That's not to say the rest of the team is bad, by the way. But he's obviously the main star. Oh, man, speaking of the finals, the Boston Celtics, if you had asked me last year, I would have said they're in him. But Jason Tatum's hurt. And we don't know when Jason Tatum's going to come back. I saw a video of him like shooting the other week, but shooting versus running and cutting and dunking and being athletic is very different from just shooting a basketball. But the rest of the team is very good. That was a championship team for a reason. It just wasn't just because of Jason Tatum. I am a professional Jason Tatum hater. He's obviously a great player, but I'm a pro Celtics hater. I'm not a big Celtics guy. But I think that you're definitely probably still going to make the playoffs. You might fall into the play-in, but I don't think so. There's a world where maybe these two switch spots. But I think with Jaylen Brown and all the other guys that they have there, they might be a play-in. No, I don't think they're a play-in team. I'm going to stick with it for now. We got 2 green teams in the almost him. This should be a green, not orange. Just swap these two. But it just depends on Tatum and when he comes back and how he's able to produce after that injury. So I think if he does come back relatively early, I think you stay in this almost him category, which is what I consider maybe like a 3, a 4, a 5 seed. A team that's like very good, but maybe a little bit less likely to go into the finals. So I think that Boston, I'm also not going to diss them for their circle logo because it's iconic. And they've got the cool little like leprechaun. Yeah, that's a leprechaun. He's got like his shoes and like his stick and everything. So I'm not going to diss their logo. But yeah, I think that if Tatum comes back in full force, it's very possible that they could even be in him category, but it just depends on that injury. I just don't know really what's going on with that. The Miami Heat, oh man, I miss a couple years ago when they had Jimmy Butler and they were like this gritty team that everyone really liked because they were fighting against the Celtics and all the other powerhouses, and they were given everything and da-da-da-da-da. Oh man, miss those days. Jimmy Butler's not there anymore. And that was kind of the Miami Heat. It was Jimmy Butler. Now you have Tyler Hero. By the way, they're going to go here. They're going to go kind of similar situation, but a little bit different, which is kind of an oxymoron or a paradoxy or whatever. I'm not into all that kind of stuff. But you've got Tyler Hero as your main guy there in Miami, kind of similar to how Toronto has Brandon Ingram. Obviously different because he's been there for so long. Tyler Hero's been with the Heat. It just depends on, can he carry a team on his back? I don't know. I really just don't know. Side note as well, we're going off on a lot of tangents here. The Heat always have some pretty nice city uniforms, except for that one that said like Heat Culture. But I really like their city uniforms. They tend to be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't really see a lot for Miami. Well, let's go see those city uniforms because that is really something that they can look forward to. Miami Heat city jersey history. Images. Are you not going to show them to me? It was like these. Like these were super cool. Goran Dragic, my goodness. Is it Hassan Whiteside? Oh, this is forever ago. But yeah, cool. Like this one. This was fire. This is Tyler Hero right there. But cool jerseys. Not as cool of a team right now. So I think that, once again, it's kind of just like a low ceiling, maybe not as low as of a floor, but just a low ceiling. Philly, ooh, that's a play-in team in my opinion. I think that's a play-in team, maybe lower in the play-in, but they were garbage last year, like confusingly garbage. But you have Joel Embiid. I mean, you have Joel Embiid, and like I said earlier, I wow, English is hard. I wrongly attributed VJ Edgecombe to some other team. VJ Edgecombe, I believe, went to Philly instead. So you're infusing your team with a very talented young guard slash wing to play alongside with Joel Embiid, who is a top 3 center in the league. Yeah, I would think so. But they were just so bad last year that it scares me to put them anywhere above the play. And I think their ceiling, we were talking about ceiling and floor, I think their ceiling is very high this year, especially if Embiid can pop off and the whole team can really click, because they've been really good before in the past. But it just scares me considering how bad they were. And we're going to talk about that later with the Pelicans as well, because it's a similar situation. Now Cleveland, this is our first him. This is our first him team of the day. I think we can just go put the Knicks in there as well. Two very, very, very good basketball teams. We're going to talk about Cleveland first. I just wanted to get the Knicks in there as well. Also, 2 unique logos. Thank you. Thank y'all for being different. Even though it's just a C, it's like kind of cool. And the Knicks is classic. Same thing with like the Celtics. Classic. Sometimes I don't mess with the classic. Like, like in college football when teams will like refuse to get other uniforms because they're like going to tradition. Like how University of Texas has like 2 jerseys and 1 pair of pants that they wear because it's like tradition and stuff, even though they could do like a lot of cool stuff with like the black and the burnt orange, and they could get unique with it. They should get like a helmet with like not just like the horns on it, but like Bevo on it, like the actual mascot, because people love him in Austin. People love the Bevo. But enough with that. College football is a completely different thing. College football has been nuts recently. But the Cavs, they have, a lot of talented guys. You got Donovan Mitchell, is Jared Allen still there? Maybe, possibly. Evan Mobley. It's just a lot of good players. It's just a very strong, especially the starting 5, just very strong, and they were so good in the regular season last year. They had one of the best records in the entire NBA, and I don't see any reason to why they should be bad, or not even bad, just worse than they were last year. They should still be contending for a title. Hopefully they don't sputter out in the playoffs, but I think they should be contending for a title. There's no reason why they shouldn't be. Knicks, same kind of thing. I got to saw Jalen Brunson play in person last year. Extremely talented. I got to see the Knicks play. It was kind of near the beginning of last year. I didn't really know how good the Knicks really were. But man, those guys are talented. Jalen Brunson had like 40-some points or something like that. The combination of him and my man Kit Kat, Karl Anthony Towns, it's deadly. It's really lethal. Brunson is a threat to drop 50 points every single night. Oh man, the lefty jump shot, so pretty. And there's no reason, like I said about the Cavs, there is zero reason that the Knicks have that they shouldn't be good this year, unless obviously injury or something like that. But this roster is still very talented, and you've got your stars, you've got your guys. There's no excuses really for the Knicks. I think they could be a championship team. Whew. Excuse me. Clippers. Yeah, you're in almost him. Probably above the Celtics, depending on Tatum. It's kind of another weird one. The old logo's throwing me off. It's like the old Chris Paul era logo. It was like him and Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Dunk City. Man, that team was fun to watch. Give us back to Dunk City Clippers. But this is another team. It's like injury plays such a big part in this team. Kawhi is so injury prone, and I love Kawhi Leonard. I think he's so good, man. But can he play? Can he actually consistently play basketball games? And that's the question. I mean, and it's risky to put him up there. But if he stays even remotely healthy, if this roster stays remotely healthy, there are a 4 seed, a 3 seed, 4 seed, probably a 4 seed in a very talented Western Conference. But yeah, it's all really hinges on injury concerns, and that's a lot of these teams. Like Boston, not Boston, a little bit less so. It's more on one guy. The Clippers have typically been decimated by injury for a lot of guys, but it's can you stay healthy? And if they can stay healthy, they've got like that crazy new arena. They got like the fan wall. I'm gonna show this to y'all if you don't know what I'm talking about. Clippers arena wall. They've got this thing called like the wall in front of like the opponent's goal when they're shooting free throws, and it's like apparently really crazy. They've got like the best fans right there, so they'll be super loud and they'll miss. Really cool. They've got like a bunch of. I saw a video about the Clippers' new stadium. They have like a bunch of tech in. Oh, it's Intuit Dome. There's a bunch of tech in there, and they're just Steve Ballmer, I believe, who is their owner. But that new arena is crazy, and that definitely will not hurt their chances. Dallas. Oh, as a Texas boy, this is an interesting one. Everyone has their opinions on the Mavericks, and it depends on three people, right? It depends on one, Cooper Flag. Is Cooper Flag going to be as much of a factor as we think he will be in his inaugural season? B/2/ the second person, which is also kind of like two, Anthony Davis. You traded for him in literally the most controversial trade in NBA history. And you said you want to get better defensively. Are you going to be better defensively? And is he going to be able to produce on offense? Because that is a worry for some people with this team. Is their offense going to be good enough? And then 3/B/the third/ whatever the hell you want to call it. Kyrie Irving. Coming back from injury, they got deloading D'Angelo Russell in free agency to kind of be a stopgap for him over the summer. And I think he will be a decent enough stopgap, but it's a similar thing to Tatum in the Celtics. When is he going to come back? Is he going to be good enough when he comes back? And what's the impact that he's going to make when he comes back? Is he going to be able to re-ingratiate with this roster? But I think it's a lot on Flag. It's a lot on Cooper Flag because they're expecting him to also be, he's a long guy. Also, clog up those passing lanes, be aggressive in that sense with Anthony Davis. And they've got talent. You got Klay Thompson on that team as well. There's a lot of good role players on the Dallas Mavericks. They're kind of just like the Celtics, like I said, and that's why I'm going to put them there. I think I'm going to put them... No. Boston's more proven. I think that Boston's a little bit more proven. They have a little bit more talent, especially if they can get it together when Tatum comes back and when he does come back. So I think that similar situation, really. You've got one of your stars out by injury sometime in the year. You don't really know when. There's predictions, but, recoveries are crazy. He could be back tomorrow by an act from God. Or he could be back in another year because he got set back in his recovery. So you don't really know. But a team you do know about, oh man, it's the Denver Nuggets. Please drag him. Okay, let's try to put these in order. I really like the Nuggets. We'll put them in order later. You have Nikola Jokic. You have the best player in the world. Maybe Thunder fans will get mad at that. Say it's Shea. But I think Jokic is probably the best basketball player in the entire world. And when you have someone like that on your team, you're going to be in championship talks. It's just a fact. That's really all it is. It's a fact when you have the best player in the world. I love Jamal Murray. I think Jamal Murray is insanely talented. You traded away MPJ over the offseason, maybe get the ball moving a little bit more. You don't have a black hole in the corner anymore. But just with those two guys, Murray and Jokic, that's his name, Nikola. Loki forgot his name for a second there, but if you can get that combination going, if Jamal Murray can also be consistent, if he can be a consistently incredible point guard like we know he can be, he's extremely talented, he pops off a lot of times, but if he can stay consistent, obviously, with Jokic, and they can keep that going, you got Aaron Gordon there as well, who I really like as a third or a fourth guy. This is a very good basketball team, and there's literally, once again, there is zero reason why you should not be top 2 seed fighting for a championship. Nikola Jokic is him. That's why he's in the him tier. You are him. So you should be in the finals. Don't really have a lot else to say about that. Houston, this is such an interesting one to me because you just traded for Kevin Durant, and it's like KD's been so many places. And it scares me a little bit almost now. It's like, obviously he's going to produce. And obviously the situation in Phoenix was an absolute mess. And sorry, Suns fans. But it depends on how he's going to get with the rest of that roster. Before, I liked them. They were kind of a young, almost still kind of like a scrappy little team. You had, Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green, who they obviously traded away. But it just depends on how this offense is going to look with KD in it. And obviously age is a concern for me. I don't really think age is going to really matter for KD. You still have LeBron performing at 40 plus with his literal son in the league, even though he might retire this year. But I don't think really age is an issue for the Rockets. I think I'm going to put him at the top here of almost him, maybe below the Bucks, just because whenever you have new players going into new situations, it's always uncertainty. It could be like when he went to the Warriors back in the day, and he was literally helping create one of the best teams in NBA history. But it might be a failure. You never know. And that's not to say that it will be a failure, but I just have a little bit of pause when I look at that team. It's like, yeah, they're good because they have Kevin Durant, but it's like, what if it goes wrong? Quick water break. Obviously, I don't have a camera on me today, so you couldn't see that, but you can hear that water going around there. Always remember to stay hydrated when listening to podcasts. Or in this case, watching them, but not really watching them because my face won't be on the screen. Maybe it will be in post, just like shaking around. But you're looking here. You're looking at the screen for the tier list. Memphis, the Grizzlies. Oh, man. Ja Morant. Hopefully he doesn't go try to shoot something up before the season starts. It starts in like a week, so Ja, chill out. The Grizzlies and the Pelicans are both in very interesting situations. Those are obviously the two teams that had the top draft picks in, 2019? When you had Zion and Ja go 1-2 in that order. But the Grizzlies are pretty much relying on Ja Morant to not only stay healthy, not only stay out of trouble, but to also produce. And he's a guy who can produce. He's so talented when you see him on the basketball court. I mean, the guy can literally float. But it's like, aside from that as well, what else are you doing with your roster? You just traded away Desmond Bane you got 5 first-round picks out of it. That trade was absurd, by the way. Let me look at the Desmond Bane trade details. Orlando Magic acquired Desmond Bane from the Memphis Grizzlies in exchange for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, 4 future first-round picks and a 2029 pick swap. I like Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane is a good basketball player, but I think the Magic definitely got fleeced by the Grizzlies here. So you're losing probably your second best scorer for KCP, who's a good role player, and Cole Anthony, who's another guard. I mean, in terms of now, it's not going to do a lot, but I think they definitely still fleeced him. But I think for this year, it's still not going to be great. If Ja pops off, maybe they're a play-in team. I think I want to put him there. I might put him there. This is a team that has a higher floor than maybe some of these other teams, so maybe there. Maybe the top of because I think they have a relatively high ceiling, not high floor, very low floor if everything goes horribly wrong, but a higher ceiling than maybe the Heat or the Raptors, and obviously the Pacers because no Tyrese. But I don't see it really coming together, especially this year. I think in a couple years you're going to say watch out. If Ja can obviously not be incompetent off the basketball court. Minnesota. The Minnesota Timberwolves. Here. I think there. Once again, why do you have a circle logo? Why? Please rebrand. I'm really hating on the circle logos. But it's you have a cool concept here with the wolf. But I feel like you could honestly get rid of this outer blue band and just not make it a circle. Why does it need to be a circle? Have it have some shape or something. Maybe put some mountains or some trees behind it. They used to have an old one that was cool. They have the really nice throwbacks. I'm looking a lot of stuff up. but it's just for visual aid. Throwbacks. Where are they? Where are they? Yes, these are cool. These are also cool. These were a little bit more ugly. They're more as a throwback, but these are cool. These are cool unis. It's got like like the bite to them. Old logo. Yeah, like this one. You have some personality to that thing, and then this just looks. It's very geometric. It's just not. There's no personality. That's the issue with logos. It's a Cracker Barrel thing. So there's no personality in these logos anymore. Minnesota's a good basketball team. Not really a lot else to say there. Probably a 5 seed, 4 seed, maybe. Yeah. Gobbert, Anthony Edwards. I mean, Anthony Edwards. I really don't know. Julius Randle. Thinking about it more. I'm actually inclined to put him in front of these two teams, at least for playoff positioning. In terms of that, and it's a little bit less scary because you're more guaranteed, I had to think about it a little bit there. Yeah, I think that Minnesota's probably there. I think, maybe they're better than this kind of area right here is very could flip-flop a lot. Because in theory, right, what I'm thinking is this is your 3 or 4 your 3 through 5 seeds. In maybe not in each conference, but that kind of range. Well, let's see if I've done it right. We got East, West, East, West. I think I have that right. Yeah, I think that I have that right conference-wise, unless I'm more on West. Yeah, okay, that is right. That is right. So there's a lot of possible turnover between these 6 spots. But I think I like the Clippers better if they're healthy. But it's just saying if they're healthy. No, we're going to do that. These teams all scare me for one reason or another. They all scare me. Because Kevin Durant, you're coming in a new situation. Kyrie could get injured. Kyrie is injured. Tatum is injured. So I think I feel better about myself putting them because I just feel a little bit more like they're in a solid spot. OKC, him, you just won the championship. Go up here. Go up here. Go up here. I like the Nuggets. Go there. I mean, you just won the championship. You didn't really get rid of anything. You still have a top 5 player in the world. Maybe top 3. I don't know. I'm kind of a Shea hater. You're a very good basketball team. Also, thank you for having some personality in your logo and in your jerseys. Thank you. Color scheme is cool. You're not basic. Yeah, not a lot else to say about OKC. They're literally were the best basketball team in the world last year, and they didn't change anything. So they are the team to beat. They are the best team in the NBA right now. New Orleans Pelicans. I'm extremely biased, but extremely biased, but the Pelicans have the potential to be very good. Like I said, coming back to this. Similar to the Memphis Grizzlies, you have a very high ceiling and possibly a very low floor. Pelicans were literal garbage last year, mostly because of injuries. Zion played maybe 20, 30, 40 games, somewhere in that range. You traded Brandon Ingram in the middle of the year because the season was already literally shot. But Zion lost a lot of weight. And we say that every offseason. Another visual aid for you. Weight loss. Look at this man. Look at that. I personally think that the weight was on court wasn't bad for him. Obviously it's bad for his health, but I wouldn't want to try to guard that. But he's maybe he's faster now. He's more agile. He was already a crazy freak of nature in terms of athleticism. But look at this guy. He's lost so much weight. And hopefully, I pray to God that he stays healthy because he's such an entertaining basketball player to watch. I mean, we're talking about a guy who literally broke a shoe in college because he was so explosive. But the Pelicans also, they just have so much talent around Zion. And once again, injuries, 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 injuries. The entire team was basically injured last year. You've got Zion, and you had a guy who actually wasn't injured last year, who came really in the absence of Zion and Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum when he was hurt or whatever. You have Trey Murphy III, who years ago, just a sharpshooter. This guy is a legit scoring threat now. He is extremely talented on ball and off ball, and he's especially the thing that's important for the Pelicans is that when you have Zion, he's gonna drive in the lane. He's gonna take literally everyone. Everyone's gonna suck in on him, and then to have that kick out option that's basically automatic, it's so big. And obviously he's more than that. But you have a guy like him. You have Jordan Hawkins, who's sharpshooter, a little bit more inconsistent. But you have shooters to space around him, and then I love the Jordan Poole acquisition over the offseason. Jordan Poole, it's almost a personality thing, like a swagger thing in part, because he's such a big personality. But once again, another shooter, a guy who can handle the ball and do a lot of things and just score the basketball. The issue, obviously, for the Pelicans is defense. They are not good defensively. But it's like, if you can score 115, 120, a lot of points a game, if you can score enough, then it's like, does your defense really need to be that good? Obviously, that's not really a great way to think about it, but if the Pelicans' offense can be running on all cylinders and the defense can at least be serviceable, this is a play-in team. This is like a 7-seed team. Maybe a 6-seed. Obviously, could go higher, like I said, really high ceiling, but a low floor. It really scares me to put the Pelicans here, but I think I am. We've got East, West, East. No, Pistons are in the East. Yeah, never mind. Oh no, that's fine. I'm stupid. Never mind. There's 4 play-in spots. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm stupid. Okay, we're still good. Everything is fine. The math is mathing. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. East. So we need 3 Western Conference teams. Yes. Okay, that'll work out. Okay. All right, Portland's next. Portland, you are excited for next year. Yeah, you're probably watching college basketball because you have Damian Lillard coming back next year. Yay. Go Dame. We love Damian Lillard. But you don't have Damian Lillard this year, and the rest of your roster is not very good. You have Scoot, and there's a little bit of intrigue around that team. But you're watching college this year, not just maybe because you're so bad, but you're waiting for that guy, your number one guy, Damian Lillard, to come back, and then maybe this team can compete for a play-in spot next year. But it really just depends on, if their young guys can develop and they can have a core around Dame. Obviously, Dame is getting up there in age, and he was a little bit inconsistent at times on the Bucks, but he's Damian Lillard. So I think you're watching college basketball. Maybe not as bad as some of these teams, and you're getting gatekept by the Hornets because the Hornets will gatekeep that tier. But you're watching college basketball because you're waiting for Dame to come back, and that's just a fact. Kings play in probably, yeah. Western Conference team, yeah. Here, yeah. A lot of yeahs right now. Good team. Light the beam. Go Kings. Once again, why are you... I simultaneously hate and don't hate this logo. This is partially turned into just Nathan's logo and branding review for all the teams. I might at the end just go back and give a word on all of them. But, it's kind of unique. Yeah, it's, relatively unique. It's a little bit modern-y, and I feel like there's a lot more you could do, but it's cool. Never mind. I'm not gonna diss the Kings in terms of their team or in terms of their branding. And the beam thing is super cool. Light the beam, baby. But yeah, probably better than these other teams. I'm cool with that. Yes, committing to that. Spurs, oh man. I don't know what to do now. I've kind of put myself in a bad spot. I think... Okay, back to the math. East. That's 4. And I've left myself with 2 Western Conference spots between The Warriors, the Lakers, and the Spurs. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. What do I do? What does Amanda do? That's gonna anger people. Oh man, this is really tough because I'm gonna put the Warriors and the Lakers definitely in that play-in spot, and I think that the Spurs should probably be there as well. But I think that maybe the Lakers are completely incompetent this year. That's the only thing. Let's do that. No, oh man, we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to these three teams, and we're gonna do the Jazz and the Suns first. Jazz kind of suck. Yeah, they suck. That's pretty much it. They're really bad. They drafted Ace Bailey, and Ace Bailey didn't want to be there. I think they also just maybe did new uniforms. Jazz new uniforms. Ah, they did. I'm right. God, these were hideous. How did they wear these? How on earth did you wear these uniforms? Except for this one. Except for this one. This one was gorgeous. How did you wear these? These were literal pieces of scum and garbage that never deserved to be on an NBA basketball court, and I hope that they are burned. I hope that they are taken away from the memory of every single human being to ever see them, because they are hideous. The numbers and the font are too big. The color is ugly. It looks like a bumblebee. They're not the Utah Bumblebees. Please, never do this again. Never bring this back as a throwback. This is so much better. A little bit of change of volume there. These are fire. These are super cool. I don't really get why you have this and this. They're basically the same thing. Like, this is cool. This is like giving vibes back to like the John Stockton, Karl Malone era. John Stockton era. No. Yeah, these. Okay, it doesn't matter. These uniforms. These were cool. It's like the same thing. It's like that versus that. It's basically the same thing. They took inspiration from that. These are fire. Now you have some of the best uniforms in the league. So thank you, Jazz. Back to your basketball team. You are not very good. Here. Yeah, you're not very good, but like you have better uniforms. So I'm gonna boost you up now because you actually learned how to like use your color scheme. Even though, why are the Jazz in Utah? It actually like still angers me to this very day. Bring the Jazz back to New Orleans and have Utah be like the Mormons or something. Really original joke there, Nathan. But the Jazz were so cool. It used to be the New Orleans Jazz in like really long ago. But like, it's a New Orleans thing. I love my Pelicans, but like, bring the Jazz back. You could have like a saxophone on that sucker of the uniform. The Mountains are cool though. I'll give it to them. They've done a great job with it, but it should still be New Orleans. Phoenix here. Nope. Don't highlight here. Here. You also scare the literal heck out of me because you have so many new guys, and everyone's very low on Phoenix this year. So I'm also gonna be low on Phoenix this year. Also, cool. Yeah, cool logo. Cool logo. I mean, it's a sun with a basketball, and it kind of looks like a comet a little bit, like a shooting star type thing, but it's pretty cool. They also tend to have really cool city jerseys. I won't pull those up, but they're pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, you have Devin Booker, and you have what? You got Dillon Brooks, and, okay, let's see. Kevin Durant, trade details. Because I'm kind of a fraud. I need to look it up. The primary components of the trade sent Durant to the Rockets in exchange for Dillon Brooks, Jalen Green, and the number 10 pick, and 5 second-round picks. First of all, if you are the Suns, this is a little bit of incompetence. Why do you want 5 second-round picks? Why do you want 5 second-round picks? Also, 7-team trade. I don't know if anyone saw that. That was crazy. But why do you want so many second-round picks? You should consolidate that and just maybe like 2 first-round picks. I mean, you're going to get so much more out of that. A little crash out there. I mean, but you got good pieces. Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks are not bad basketball players. Jalen Green obviously a lot better than Dillon Brooks. but it's also like you're still kind of guard heavy because you have Jalen Green and Devin Booker, who pretty much just play the exact same position. But it's like, yeah, I mean, there's just very much a lot of uncertainty. Who do they pick with the 10th pick? Who did Phoenix Suns get in draft? Malawak, the guy from Duke. Yeah, he's pretty good. But it's like you're relying on a young raw center, and he's not really a big. He's not going to score you 30 points a game. They have good players. I don't think it's going to mesh personally. Oh man, now we're back to the dilemma. Every other tier is pretty nice because these are like I'm thinking like these are the ones and the twos. This is 3 through 5. This is like 6 through 10. I know the 6 isn't in the play-in. So maybe we move that, or maybe we make a new tier here. No. What did I just do? Oh Lord. Oh no. Oh great heavens. Okay, we're back. New tier. Add row above. Yeah. We're gonna make this tier. We're gonna make it light blue because I feel like it. And we're not gonna call it new. We're gonna call it almost him. And it's just gonna be these two teams, I think. Yeah. Because the plan. No, I'm being incompetent again, right? 1, 2. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not. Oh, I need one more team in that tier. Boom. Okay. The issue with this is that the Kings are in the West, right? Are the Kings in the West? Yes. I'm good at basketball, guys. I know what I'm talking about. Kings are in the West, Pelicans are in the West, and then we got 2 teams here. Or 3 teams here, excuse me. They're all also in the West. These are 2 Eastern Conference teams. I'm saved, never mind. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, you guys. Okay, so we bring the Kings here. We put down the Pistons. This is wrong. I need to bring one of these teams up. See, I'm smart, guys. Okay. Order these in a sec. So now we got West, 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 West. East, East, East. Beautiful. Obviously still going to put the Hawks on the bottom there. What Eastern Conference team do we like to join us? Let's see. Eastern Conference last year. What team do we think deserves it? Who do we not have in there? The Heat and the Bulls. And the Pacers because they're hurt. No, this is the wrong season. Why are you giving me the wrong season? What the heck? Okay, that's the right season now. Yes, you're hurt. Yes, Pistons, Magic. This is the Heat and the Bulls again. The Heat and the Bulls. And then we brought in the Sixers. So it's between the Heat and the Bulls, basically. I don't like either of these teams. That's a weird noise. I shouldn't be making that noise. Miami. Yeah, it's going to be Miami. Because Miami, at least, I think, retained a decent amount. They were working with what they were working with last year. Yeah, I think that's fine. Maybe we bring the Bulls up here, and then we do that. Yeah, I think we do that. I hated on the Bulls a little bit too much. They're not that bad. Okay, so I think I'm fine with this. Now we have to put these three goons in order because I think this is probably good in terms of order. Yes. Okay, we have to bring the Warriors here. Let's talk about the Warriors. Steph Curry. You have Steph Curry. Now you have both of the Currys. You have Seth Curry and Steph Curry. So you got SC squared, as Steph Curry posted on his Twitter or his X or Instagram or the social media earlier this week. So you've got both the Curry brothers. Great. You've got Pods. You've got Jimmy Butler. You've got, yeah, I mean those are your main threats. You got Kuminga, who like is super inconsistent, but you have Stephen Curry, so you're gonna make the playoffs. I mean that's pretty much just how it works. Not really a lot else to say about that. Lakers are gonna come here. Yeah, the Lakers. You have LeBron James, who is the second best player to ever play basketball on this entire earth. And you have Luka Doncic, who is an absolute killer, and I think he also lost weight over the offseason. So if they can mesh, that's obviously the question. But I don't see a world where you're not making the playoffs. At least it could be a first-round exit. But you're probably like, I don't know, 7 seed, 8 seed, 7 seed? 7 seed. Probably 7 seed. And then the Spurs, you have Wemby. You have a literal alien on your team. Maybe the president might want to deport him. JK, don't get political. But you've got Victor Wembanyama, and that means that you're going to be an extremely good basketball team. Yes. Yeah. No. Okay. I'm gonna trust in the Pelicans. I'm going with this. I think this is gonna be the final list. Let's see if this orders right. Yes. I think the Nuggets are better, probably because of Jokic. Maybe not in terms of record, but I think they'll perform better in the playoffs. Good. That tier's fine. Extra tier. How are y'all doing in y'all's tier of y'all's own? Sorry that I don't have your logo correct, Magic. We just talked about that. Yep. Okay, I'm committing to this. Just hit my mic again. Sorry, microphone. We're committing to this. I think that if you look at the NBA at the end of the season, I really like the Nuggets this year. I think the Nuggets can possibly come and win another championship this year. The Cavs and the Knicks are some of the favorites as well. But it's like, are you going to be able to stay consistent in the playoffs and make a deep playoff run and win the championship? So I think it's going to be the Nuggets. The Nuggets are going to be my championship prediction, as I tend to give on this channel, a little prediction for the NBA championship. But I think this is going to be a good year. These two teams are going to be probably the two teams that I'm looking at the most, because you have your stars coming back from injury. We've done Nathan's logo review for most of these teams. Let's go over them real quick. Thunder, we already talked about. Nuggets. Actually, I will let you be a circle logo, because it's actually a cool circle, because it's got pickaxes in it. I mean, you could probably do something better with it. I think you could definitely do something better. I feel like there's a lot to work with there. But I like the pickaxes, so I'm going to keep the pickaxes. Cavs, cool, we already talked about them. Knicks, already talked about them. Already talked about you. Rockets, that's a good logo. It's objectively a good logo. I mean, you could do a lot more with it. You had an old logo in like the Hakeem days, where it was literally like a rocket with a smiley face on it. It was super sick. But I like the Rockets logo. Clippers, already talked about them, rebranded. Celtics, already talked about them. Mavericks, don't really know what that logo is. It probably is something of meaning, but they have cool jerseys, and the logo looks fairly unique, even though it's kind of a circle. So I'm gonna let it slide. Magic, already talked about you. Kings, already talked about you. Pistons, already talked about you. Lakers, classic. Pelicans, cool. It's cool. It's a Pelican. Spurs, really cool. 76ers, classic. Warriors, classic. Or not really classic, but really cool. The bridge is super sick, actually. So you get, once again, a pass for being the circle. Heat, really cool, because it's heat and stuff. Hawks, you can do better. You can do a lot better. Isn't there like a college that has this logo? College with Hawks logo. With Atlanta Hawks logo. Where? Maybe I'm going crazy. Never mind. But side note, this was cool logo back in this was like in the 2000s. That logo was sick. Yeah, it was 07 to 2015. That was super sick. Why did you not keep that? Wow. This is quite the logo history. Look at these things. Oh my goodness. That's something. Then they decided to go to green and blue for 2 years. Okay. Enough with the Hawks. Change your logo back to the 07 to 2015 one. Hawks are cool. Grizzlies. Yeah, it's fine. It's a cool looking bear. Suns, already talked about you. Pacers, already talked about you. Raptors, might have briefly mentioned them. I think it's cool. I think you once again get a pass for being a circle because you've got the cool slash mark in it, even though it should be the old dinosaur from the Vince Carter days. Bulls are iconic. Hornets, it's fine. Jazz, once again, it's fine. Trailblazers, I like them a lot. Wizards, already talked about you. Nets, already talked about you. That is the end of Power Rankings, also known as Nathan's Logo Review, as this has become for the day. That's pretty much it for this video. It feels good to be back. I'm not going to promise to upload regularly because I know I will break that promise already. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you agree with my takes, and if you don't, please let me know in the comments down below, or just DM me on Instagram at Nate vs. Hot Takes Pod. You can yell at me all you want. I won't report you, I promise. With all that being said, with no camera today, I'm Nate, and that's just my take.